Hello everyone, welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. Well, what I would like to do right now is just give a very short update on this project of mine and give you an idea of the next projects that will be using this technique. So this is my little naval fleet, and I already played a game using Warfleet's FTL rules, and I just had to modify the rules to fit a naval game. This is going to be for fictitious gaming, so like alternate history and stuff. I have an airship coming, and we'll see how that works out. And if I like it, then I'll make a couple of other airships in order to use them with these naval vessels. So here is the carrier, and I showed in Scratch Builder Monthly how I painted the carrier. You can see that in an article in the September edition of the magazine. So I'm finishing this up today. We have a battleship. We have the cargo vessel, which I showed in a previous short, and the cargo vessel is all finished. It has all its masts, it has its cranes, and everything else. And this is a heavy cargo vessel. And then we have another vessel that I'm working on. This is going to be a tanker, so a big fuel tanker. And then we have a smaller cargo vessel, and this one's also got to be painted. And part of that's going to be important for like a convoy mission. So one player defends the convoy, one player attacks the convoy. We do have aircraft, and I'm making a bunch of little aircraft so I can make more squadrons, different kinds of little aircraft. And those are going to be important. We're going to have dive bombers and torpedo bombers and all that good stuff. Now, here are all the light cruisers. There's 4 light cruisers here, and then we have 2 destroyers that are built already. Here's a destroyer, and then we have 2 more hulls that I just added, and these are going to be destroyers as well. So we'll have a total of 4 destroyers, and then there's a corvette, and we're going to have some frigates coming as well. The corvette's going to be the smallest figure, but I'm going to redo this corvette. I'm going to redesign it. So either way, I'll keep this for the collection. But basically, the fleet is on its way. I'm going to make another battleship, and I have a sheet coming with heavy cruisers, battle cruisers, and possibly another carrier. And then that'll complete the selection of ships. So if Julie decides to play, we'll have enough ships to like divide them up. And most scenarios, many scenarios, we can play a lot of very small scenarios as well, like hunt a battleship or something like that. I do have submarines coming as well. That's going to be a separate one. We'll have little submarines like poking out of the water at different like depths. So that's going to be cool. And I'm also going to make some torpedo effects because we will need torpedoes, as many of these ships will carry them. So the ships are almost complete. I am doing a lot of painting now. I just finished filming Death Wizards for today, and then I'm going to finish the rest of it tomorrow. So that's going to be up hopefully by tomorrow night. But the rest of the day, I'm just going to paint. I'm going to paint those ships. And then I'm also painting my 10mm Pendragon Napoleonics, and I just finished these cavalry guys. I finished all of the French, and I'm working on these guys right now. So there's Wellington in the background. And I also found some little War Master figures. So I'm going to include these as fantasy options using Fantastic Battle rules for the Napoleonics. These are really cool. And yeah, so you'll probably see updates on the October Scratch Builder Monthly. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about painting. And it's mostly related to scratch built painting. Okay, so here is the tank with a little bit of gray primer. I also added a couple of details here on the interior of the track. And now I'm going to paint this, and I could use this with 1/72 scale or as a really heavy tank in my 15 millimeter with my 15 millimeter British guys. So this is all for alternate history or fictitious gaming. So, you know, I'll decide later what scales to use it with. But I'm thinking we're gonna have a nice 15 millimeter game with these tanks, and I'm also gonna add some of my warjacks as possible steam automatons, massive steam automatons, or maybe walkers, piloted walkers. So that's going to be a cool, and I'll have to decide what rules to use for that. This is actually a very big. I do have some smaller ones that I can maybe use also. So I'll write that up in Scratch Builder Monthly as soon as I'm ready to paint this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to weather it as well. So I'll talk about that in an article, upcoming article. And for my sci-fi cityscape project, that is an ongoing project. I reported that in one of the issues of Scratch Builder Monthly. I started painting some details on the buildings, and I'm going to have a couple of new buildings coming, more alien-like than some of these. And also I'm working on an elevated highway to go with my monorail. I'll probably design a second monorail as well. So those projects won't start just yet. Probably next week I can start on the highway, and then I want to have some sci-fi billboards, and I have a very easy technique for making those sci-fi billboards, and that will probably occur next week, and then that'll be in time for October Scratch Builder Monthly. So all those little projects will be reported then. So, but basically I'm doing a lot of painting, and I'm using my sci-fi cityscape in storytelling. I'm doing some storytelling with 5 Parsecs from Home on Patreon. I have like a new way of doing the campaign turn. So it's really like an RPG. There's like character dialogues and everything. But in the backgrounds, when the characters, the crew is visiting a city, we have these cityscapes that I form in the background. And when a character goes into the building, the building is the thing that's focused in the background. And the characters, the different figures show up as they talk to each other. It's a very simple and just a cool way of doing the narrative for games like 5 Parsecs from Home, or even like Starfinder RPG, that kind of stuff. But in any case, so these will be used in miniature wargaming, 10 millimeter, but also in storytelling stuff that I do on my Patreon. So stay tuned if you're interested in the Cityscape project that is ongoing. So meaning I'll be adding stuff to it little by little until I'm satisfied, basically. So well, that's it, folks. It was a very quick update. I'll have, when I have more models, like when I get the airships and the starship models that will be coming very soon, I'll have a separate video for those. Okay, so then we'll have some cool alternate history gaming with some cool machinery with it. So all right, thank you very much, folks. Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you in the next video.